Good day to my lecturer, Dr. Muhammad Sofyan bin Muhammad Rosbi. My name is Harmayan and my matrix number is 211220530. Right now, my group and I would like to share about our group assignment presentation that we have chosen is Air Asia Airlines Company. Let me introduce about background Air Asia Airlines Company. Air Asia is a low-cost airline based in Malaysia. Air Asia Berhad was founded in 1993 and began operation on 18 November 1996. Additionally, it was largely founded by a government-affiliated conglomerate called DRB Hicom. A very powerful indebted airlines were bought by Tony Fernandez's company Melody Air Sendirian Berhad on 2nd December 2001 for a token purchase price of 1 ringgit with a total debt worth 40 million Malaysian ringgit. In 2002, Fernandez began making money and cutting Malaysia Airlines with promotional fares as low as 1 ringgit by cutting out Malaysian Airlines from its hub in Kuala Lumpur. The vision for Air Asia is to be the low-cost Asian airlines to reach out people with poor connectivity and high fares. The mission is to be the best company to work for where employees are treated as part of big family, create a globally recognized ASEAN brand, to establish lower costs so that everyone can afford to fly with Air Asia.
My name is Ashwini Sethi. I'm from 21B. Okay. Today I want to discuss about problem identified by AirAsia during COVID-19 pandemic. First problem is flight cancellation. Due to this pandemic, all the tourists cancel their flight ticket. This is because of they cannot go anywhere during the pandemic. Second one is decrease in demand. This is because most of the country are on lockdown, so they can't go any country to visit. Third problem is loss of new customers. Other than that, some of the employees of AirAsia lost their job because AirAsia can't pay for their salary. AirAsia also faced some financial problem. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good day, Dr. Sofyan. My name is Gunaidi Nathan and my metric number is 211222358. Today, I'm going to explain about the decision analysis of AirAsia Berhad. Decision analysis is a systematic, quantitative, and visual approach to evaluating the important choice that an organization business face. To determine the expected monetary value of AirAsia organization, we select decision making under the RISK model. There are a few steps that we are attempting to identify the perfect making under RISK model, which is construct a table with alternative and possible outcome, calculate the EMB for each alternative, choose the largest expected monetary value, which is 100,000. According to our group research, the best decision to be taken is an alternative of salary cut for management, manpower, staff, and directors. This is due to exposing the long-run average value of a decision. Thank you.
A very good morning to Dr. Sofyan and my beloved friends. My name is Hang Junyan and my number metric is 211220529. Today, I would like to present linear programming. So, what is linear programming? Linear programming is a mathematical modeling technique which is designed to help managers in planning and decision-making relative to resource allocation. After explaining the definition of linear programming, let us proceed to the next part, which is our group suggested to use linear programming to help AirAsia by overcome their business during COVID-19 pandemic, as my friend mentioned in problem identify. First, our group have constructed a table which have two different types of department. They are Airbus A320 and Airbus A320neo. For Airbus A320, there are 42 hot seats, which also known as premium class seat. Next, there are a total of 138 economy class seats, which make them total of 180 available seats. Meanwhile, for Airbus A320neo, they have the same amount for premium class seat, which is 42, and different amount of economy class seat, which is 144. That makes them equal of 186 total available seats. The seats that I mentioned is actually the real data based on the internet sources from AirAsia website. Next, when we finish construct the table, we must consider two important things. The first one is constraint and the second one is objective function. In our group, we have identified two different constraints, which is Airbus A320 6E plus 2P less than or equal to 180, and another one Airbus A320neo 3E plus 6P equal or less than 186. For objective function, we create by our own self, which is 250E plus 180P to maximize the profit. After confirm the constraint and objective function, we may estimate the constraint as the following below. When we finish estimate the constraint, now we may use the constraint plot in the graph. As we can see from the graph, there are red lines and blue lines. Red lines refer to Airbus A320, which economy class seat have 30 and the premium class seat have 90. For the blue lines, it refers to Airbus A320neo, which economy class seat have 62 and the premium class seat have 31. When blue line and red line intersect, there are a yellow feasible region, and the feasible region is the objective function that we need to find. For the final step, when we finish plotting the graph, once again, we use the graph data to estimate the constraint. The reason we do this is because we need to find the objective function 250E plus 180P to maximize the profit. As a result, we found out that the premium class seat is equal to 19.2 and the economy class seat is equal to 23.6. After that, we use these both constraints sum into the objective function. In conclusion, the maximum profit that we found is 9,356 ringgit Malaysia.
Hi, my name is Kavilashni Chandran and my metric number is 2112222363. Today I'm going to talk about the conclusion and recommendations. Problem to sustain business during the COVID-19 pandemic. AirAsia had to maintain competitiveness. AirAsia was suffering from 65% drop in airline inventory in 2020, and also AirAsia had fired extra than 10% of its 24,000 personnel. Decision 2. Risk to model to determine the expected monetary value, EMV, and linear programming. Thirdly, there are 6 steps before making any decisions. First, we have to clearly define the problem at hand. Next, we should list all the possible alternatives. Third, we should identify the possible outcomes. And then, list the payoff of each combination of alternatives and outcomes. Later, we should select one of the mathematical decision theory model. In this case, we chose linear programming. And lastly, we should apply the model and make our decision. The best recommendation to sustain their problem during this COVID-19 for AirAsia is to minimize the cost. They can minimize the cost by cutting down the salary for management, staff, and directors. Thank you.